So today we are talking about freedom or control. I think these terms that are overly used everywhere, like is extremely obvious for someone that is in the Bitcoin space to talk about these two terms. Today I want to do a deep dive though in what they mean, why they are important, why we are at the crossroads of for humanity, for freedom. So first of all, I wanted to start with something that could seem at the beginning a little bit controversial. So embrace chaos for financial freedom. Chaos has, in certain ways, I think also for political reasons, has been used with a negative connotation. So media, politicians always are afraid of the word chaos because it means that it is something that you cannot control. And so, there is Joker here in the back of me, and I want also to explain why the Joker is there. Right? So again, could be seen as controversial. So first of all, let's go back to chaos. So chaos is a term that when I was preparing the presentation, I thought more about it. Right? And how many of you guys are familiar with the Lorentz concept of the butterfly effect? Right, so the butterfly effect means, or tells that, if a butterfly was flapping its wings, somewhere else in the world, a tornado, maybe after weeks, after minutes, after weeks, after a year, could happen. So is the process of, disturbing, even with the smallest events, non-linear ecosystems. And so the way I like to think about chaos, imagine how the small tortoise bird can move its wings, can flap its wings, and create a tornado in the global financial system. So that's the image that I want to give you today for El Salvador. Tortoise is the symbol of the country. And so if we think about it, if we think about how even the smallest of the countries, the smallest of the communities, we are here, there is Bitcoin Beach, and really everything started from people, right? So from the small pier in a global environment, these can have massive effects on huge systems. And that's really the message that I wanted to give you today. How every one of us can be a small tortoise, a small butterfly, and how El Salvador is actually representing all of us in potentially creating this global chaos in the financial system. And why the Joker? Because I like one of the Joker messages was, it's not all about money, it's about sending a message. So this has multiple meanings, right? It's not all about the money, means that not everything is pure, is money, right? Money is communication, right? It's about sending a message. So when we think about Bitcoin, when we think about financial systems, we always think about, okay, this is money, how I will use it to buy products, I will use it to transact. But the transaction, the action of transacting is communicating. So it's not all about the money, it's about sending a message, it's about considering money, not just money, but also communication, messages. But also is the fact that we shouldn't, us as Bitcoiners, or people that try to change things, we are not doing it for the money, right? I think it's a better way. You remember the meme, I'm in for the tech, talking about Bitcoin. Here we can say, I think this is a better message, right? So it's not all about making money. It's about sending a message that is a powerful message to the establishment in the financial world. And we are at the crossroads. So the crossroad is It's just a decision that we have to make. Personally, as humanity, as communities, right? So between personally and humanity, there are multiple steps. So there is personally, there's family, friends, town, community, country, and then globally. And so we have to make these decisions, right, at the crossroads. So we are standing there. No one can make these decisions for us, right? So it's all about your community. It's about sharing these decisions and taking an informed decision where we think humanity should go. It's our choice. It's about this choice that we are making in these years, is something that will characterize humanity for the future. Because technology is moving fast. AI is moving fast, communications, social media, everything is moving fast. So if we are not faster than the curve, the speed of improvement of technology and the growth of technology, then we could be in a situation where even if we wanted to take a decision, it will be meaningless, because technology and the people that understand technology can take the decision before everyone else. And so they can influence, few people can influence humanity for the foreseeable future. So we want to explain, we want to educate people on the fact that everyone should be part of this decision, should not be something that others decide for us. So the technology's power, liberation or enslavement, right? So what I think I like about technology, I'm a technologist, I'm a developer since 30 years, so I've always focused my life in building stuff. The thing is that when you build things, whatever they are, they can be used for good and bad purposes. So technology is always neutral, doesn't determine its usage. It's just a passive thing. Is humans, people decide how to use technology. And so we need to decide how we want to use this technology, right? These powerful technologies like ChatGPT, or communication like Twitter, X, or we call it now, and financial technology. All these things can be used in two ways. They can be used to liberate people or enslave them. And now we are going to see a few cases, right? So how this is going to be trickier and trickier in the future. So the threat to personal liberty. So we know that technology is being embraced by governments, is being embraced by big corporations. Every time we use a search engine, every time we use a social network, we use technology. Every one of us almost any one of us cannot live with a phone in his pocket. So how we can make sure that the technology is not turning back on its creators, right? It's almost like either Matrix or Terminator, or whatever sci-fi movie you like most. We have to think about it. So there is I think, Schwab that says, we will own nothing and we will be happy. So think about it, right? So someone is telling us that everything that we build, everything that humanity participates in build, will be taken from us because there are people that feel that they know better than us. They know better than any one of us. They know better than what we need in our lives. They know better what our families need, our community needs. So they say, well, we are going to remove piece by piece everything that you have in your lives. Trust us, we can decide for you because we have a picture of how the world really is. So you don't know that, right? So you should just focus on your little house, your little environment, your friends, have some fun, right? You will be happy, but over time, you will have nothing. And they tell us, right? So they tell us, and the more they tell us, the more media will reinforce the message, it will feel normal. So now we are all upset for that sentence, but in 10 years, we will think it's okay, yes, fine, we don't have anything, there is someone that takes care of me, right? So the government takes care of me, or like a shadow organization takes care of me. Well, I don't think, I'm sure that many of you don't think it's something that we should let happen. So, taking control of our future is something that no one will do it if we are not doing it, right? So we cannot think, well, someone else will think about it, because someone else will think about it will think the same, right? Someone else will think about it, and so no one else will think about it, or if no one thinks about it, then we'll owe nothing in the future, and that will become more and more reality. Right? So if we keep looking around for someone to do the first step, then we will all fail. So today, I think is compared to the broader view of the global ecosystem, technology, social media, and the communication, whatever, we are going to talk about the specific aspect of finance and how Bitcoin is actually the solution to create a better financial world. It's obvious concepts to many of you, but nevertheless, I think they are really fitting to show how, if we are not fighting back with the tools that we created for us, someone else will embrace the same technologies that allow these tools to be created in the first place and use them against us, right? So, the rise of financial surveillance. So, in the past, there was only cash, right? Throughout the history of humanity, cash was banknotes or coins that we have in our pockets, and we could decide to transact with whomever we wanted. So people could go to the fish market and buy some fish, and the transaction was between the buyer and the fishmonger. So today we are getting more and more used and hooked to digital money. And money, for most part, is already digital, right? Money is sitting on especially for the more developed worlds and countries. Money is for most part digital. Means that every one of us, or many people in the most developed countries, have bank accounts. So in the bank accounts, it's just numbers in the database, right? Someone could make mistakes and money can be created and destroyed, but it's just money in databases. And when the Fed prints money, it's not that they are issuing 2 trillion of $1 banknotes, in the last, as they did in the last 6 months. They are not physical banknotes. They issue that are numbers, that are digital numbers. So these numbers are getting more and more to control us. And in the past was not possible, so just in the last 30 years this became possible. So it's something that humanity have never been used to. It's not that we have some previous history and we already fought this battle, so now we know how to defend ourselves. This is the first time, this is a really big challenge, and this is the first time in human history that we are facing it. So, how we can defend ourselves, right? CBDCs are also raising. So, CBDCs are the central bank digital currencies. They are made and they are thought as an instrument to control people. So they started, the first countries that started to issue these CBDCs are the most authoritarian countries. But think about it, right? So right now, even if you have a bank account, not everyone have a bank account, but if you have a bank account, you can choose your bank. You choose your bank, and so you have a credit card, you use that credit card, you swipe that credit card, in a shop, you buy something, the government doesn't know what you are buying. So your transaction stays with you, between you, the shop owner, and the payment provider company. It can be a bank, it can be the credit card company. But with a CBDC, if whatever you are buying, that transaction will be seen by the government. So it will be the first time in history where the government could know where every one of us are at any point in time. When you're swiping your card, you are buying a coffee. Also, there is information about the coffee shop. And so imagine if the government could start putting all this stuff together and understanding, okay, knowing exactly where each one of their citizens are at any point in time. That is an incredible dystopia that I don't think we should allow to happen. Bitcoin comes to the rescue. So Bitcoin, we don't know what it is, but it is the very reason why Bitcoin is important and why Bitcoin is fought by media companies, by mainstream media companies, is that it completely changed the balance. It creates an opportunity, it creates an option for communities, for people, communities, countries to decide for the alternative future. Again, we are at the crossroads. So Bitcoin is check and balance to power. So it means that the more the establishment will force people in a direction that is dystopian, there is always Bitcoin with its shield to create an opportunity, to give an option to people to choose the freedom alternative, the open alternative. It's like when you have, closed source software and open source software. First there was Microsoft with Windows, it was everywhere. But now, from a small idea, from a guy sitting in his own room in 1991, was Linus Torvalds. Now Linux is the most used operating system in the world. Every single one, apart the iOS users, everyone of you guys have Linux in this pocket. Eventually, open source systems that can have global contributors will win, because if society puts all its minds together, they will win. So many of the critics about Bitcoin is that it cannot scale, it cannot fulfill other use cases about being moving. Yes, you can move money in Bitcoin, but it's slow, it takes 10 minutes, the Bitcoin block time is 10 minutes, and so on and so forth. So, cannot be used for payments. That is another narrative that it has been feeded to us for such long time. So, well, there is like a network. I'm sure that every one of you know about what this is. But also there are tools that I'm really proud about the fact that Bitfinex is developing tools like RGB. That is a protocol that allows assets to be built on top of Bitcoin. Right now, everyone is to build assets is using altcoins like altchains like Ethereum. But we can bring back all that economy to Bitcoin without needing changes to Bitcoin. We can use our protocols like Lightning Network, as I said, or RGB to issue assets. Could be stablecoins, or could be gift cards, could be whatever you want. But technologies like this are more and more possible. They took years of research, because if you don't want to do things properly, if you want to do things securely, if you want to do things that have an actual impact, you cannot have them rushed, right? You need the best minds in the world to put them together to try to create something that is unbreakable. That's the beauty of Bitcoin, right? It's unbreakable. And so no one can ever take it from us. And so it's the perfect layer to build tools like RGB. So many developers, I'm sure here around there is Giacomo Zucco, there is Peter Todd, there is Maxime. Many of these developers contributed to RGB as a way to take back control of the financial system back to Bitcoin, and not spread it across multiple other chains that are weaker than Bitcoin, right? So if we allow the proliferation, well, everyone can do whatever they want, but if we keep believing that the world can have a proliferation of altcoins and altchains, and they have the same properties of Bitcoin. Well, we are completely wrong. We are giving more and more opportunities to someone that thinks they know better than us to put more and more control on us.